Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. We are on the air. This is Thesis.
I mean, the Persian Empire's army was so big, they would dry out the rivers. But Herodotus says that in his book. When all my life, growing up, through the 80s, all I remember being taught at school is that we should be colorblind. But now it seems like these people that call themselves progressives are looking back past the civil rights to where now I should care about what skin color I am or the other person is. Educate yourself, open your eyes. Don't be led around like sheep or cattle.
Government will always push its boundaries, no matter who is in charge.
Today's show, I wanted to talk about a little bit about like legalization and things like that. When markets get saturated, only the strong survive.
We see the crossover from what religion teaches us about behaviors, and we can see the proof in the science.
I'm not scared of the virus. I'm not scared of the pandemic. You know why? Because I know that there's something greater than all of this.
This is Thesis. Everything is everything. I am your host, Jay Marie.
Three, two, one. We are on the air. This is Thesis. Everything is everything. I am your host, Jay Marie. How's it going out there, folks? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for showing up and hanging out with us today. Coming to you live from Zombieland. Yes, sir. Well, I want to thank you for showing up and hanging out with us today. I hope you find yourself well and healthy and safe. All right. Well, it's been a minute since we talked, but I am here. I am well, and I've just been waiting. I couldn't wait to get back here with you guys because it's been a minute. But you know how it is during the holidays. You think you have time as a creator, but you really don't. So there wasn't much time for much, but it's cool because it gave me and it gave us some time for relaxation and some time off. But it also gave me some time to really focus in on what it was that we were going to talk about next, right? And, I kind of started working on this lesson plan, probably a couple weeks now. I've had the idea for about 3 weeks, but been working, taking notes and studying and doing these things for the past couple weeks. So I think we're ready. We're ready to lay it down today. So I want to thank you. And if you are new, I want to welcome you. I want to thank you for, spending some time with us, and I hope you enjoy what you hear. So before we get to the lesson, I just want to say, if you're new to the show, I welcome you. I thank you. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button on YouTube so you won't miss any of our content, because we don't just do the podcast. We do a lot of other stuff. And as the year goes on, as the weeks go on, there's going to be events coming up. So there will be a lot more extra Thesis film stuff going on. So we want you to be subscribed there so you won't miss anything, okay? And make sure you subscribe to us on wherever platform you're listening to, and follow us on Facebook also. There's a lot of other shareable content there. So, all right, now we got that out of the way. Let's get to it. All right, so, during the holidays, especially towards the end of the year and at the beginning of years, as the calendar turns over, we hear a lot, and we don't just hear it, but we feel it ourselves. Like we hear the term like a new year, a new me. We got New Year's resolutions, right? Well, what am I going to do different next year, right? All these things. And that's something that we all kind of take part in, and we kind of participate. We've done it before. We probably will continue to do it. And I think the end of the calendar year seems to be like a good marker. It's like, what? The calendar year is over. Let's change a few things, right? The year's over. We can look back and say, what did we do right? What did we do wrong? Depending what we want to do, going forward, that we might have to make some adjustments and some tweaks to whatever it is, right? Maybe some of our behaviors, or some of our the things that we do, the things that we invest our time in, those type of things. But again, there's different, depending on what it is that we're trying to do, because there's things we can do, like in business. What do we want to do different this year for our businesses, right? For our family, for our health, for our education, our spirituality. You know, there's these different uh, aspects of our lives that when the calendar year ends and we we make resolutions or whatever, there's these things that we want to focus on some of us, certain things are going okay to where maybe we want to focus on family, maybe we want to focus on our spirituality, our health, right? So so there's a new beginning. The beginning of the year is a new chance to start over, right? And mentally, that makes things a little easy. Hey, it's a new year. It's a new, the last year is gone. The new thing, right? So it makes it kind of a little easier to try to start something. And one of the first things that comes to mind when people, resolution is health wise. I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna lose weight. Those type of things. Right? There's so many different things that we can change about ourselves or make plans for in a new year, to look towards, to make goals, to make an effort to hit certain, things, right? And so, like, where do we, so let's say we want to, we have some things we want to change about our business, about ourselves, about our health, about our whatever, right? Like, where do we go? Where do we look to? What do we do? Where do I get this information? I mean, look, a lot of us, I'm not college educated or whatever. Everything that I've learned after high school, I've taught myself, and so we're, and I don't mean that to try to disparage or someone knows more or not. It's just that we're regular folk, right? So it's like, okay, so where does a regular person go to get information on how to make my business better, let's say, right? Right? Is there anywhere, and then, like, there's plenty of people out there, gurus, there's self-help people, there's business people with academies, and I'll give you the 10 steps to be successful in business just by my program. There's all kinds of stuff out there, right? People who probably know the business system and the, and how to achieve or how to get ahead in that world, or connections or whatever, and they're making money or whatever, right? There's all kinds of people out there that you can reach out to and look to it on videos and courses or whatever. You can go to business school or whatever, right? But let's say we don't have any time for that, right? I don't have time. I don't have money to pay for a course. I don't have time to go to the college or whatever. So is there simpler ways to kind of look at something and to kind of help us achieve those things, right? Now, so like in business, we can take courses and stuff like that, right? But let's just go back to basics, right? Like ask yourself certain questions, right? What was your original intent for starting the business? Was it about just money, or was it about servicing certain people, certain clients, certain things that you provide, a service that you provide to the community or something? Well, what was the motivation? What is the motivation behind your business? Of course, you want to be successful. You need more clients, right? Depending on what business you're in, you need more clients. You need more sales. You need stuff that to get you ahead, right? To get you that next step up, to get more clients, to get more income, and to hire more help or whatever, right? So just by asking yourself simple questions, as the we can kind of get an idea, of certain things. Like, for instance, we hear the mission statement. You walk into a store, whatever, our mission statement, and they'll have it on a plaque or something, or on the wall, the mission statement, Firestone, something, right? So you don't have to actually have it written down, but what is your mission? What is the purpose of your business, right? What do I want to do with my business? What is it that I'm offering, right? What am I offering the clients? What am I offering my neighborhood? What am I offering the people that I service in my city or whatever, right? And then so you find out what that is. Well, I want to provide a good service. I want to provide good customer service, good presentation of our workers, of our product, of our whatever it is, right? So there's these different things that that you want to do, right? So you don't need to take a course to know that you want to service your customers better, or that you want to offer, so you don't really need those things. You just need to kind of tighten up on what you already do if you've been in business already. Now, if you're new to business, then you're going to have to go over all these things. You're going to have to think what it is that what am I going to do? How do I want to get ahead, right? And there's a lot of stuff out there. You know, there's businesses. You know, there's videos that were, but simple stuff, even stuff like the art of war. You know, what I'm saying, like the art of war. Um, a lot of the tactics used and strategies used, like in the art of war, are used in business because they kind of translate, because they're like a principle. It's a principle of battle. But business is sort of the same, because you're trying, if there's different companies that provide the same service, you're battling over the clientels, right? So if you offer better products, better service, better this, you know, people will come to you if your competitor isn't doing as good, or doesn't care about their clients, or you know, isn't presentable or whatever, right? So there's these things that you can learn, art of war, or just trying to think of, you know, a better staff. If your staff is you know, if some of your staff is kind of, you know, there's certain things that you're gonna have to tighten up, right? So it is, you know, like what it is that you want to do with business exactly, right? But we have to be honest, you know, if one of our staff members is you know, and clients, let's say, is costing us clients, then you know might have to come to a hard decision. You know, it's not easy, you know, firing somebody. That's nothing. It's not fun. It's not easy. It sucks, but it has to be done. You know, it has to be done sometimes, right? So in business, you know, I want to take my business next step forward, right, this year, right, or whatever. The new year comes along. You want to take your business. All right. Well, what do we want to do different? Well, we need to make a list, a mental list, or you can make a physical list of what things go right, what things go wrong, right? You've had the whole year to look on, and you know exactly, you know, what ideas work, what systems work, what tools work, what workers are good for certain things or whatever, right? You see all these things, and as the owner, as the CEO, as the boss, as the chief, you know, you're gonna have to make some decisions on maybe move some parts around. But if things are going smoothly, then you can concentrate on other things. Okay, the work side is going good. Now let's concentrate on growing. Let's concentrate on marketing. Let's concentrate on these other things, right? Little tiny steps, but things have to be in order. There's have to be working properly. So these advances could come, right? So we want to tighten up, let's say on business. We want to tighten up those screws wherever we can. And if things are going smooth in business, then okay, let's go to the next step. Let's look to advance, to get more clientele, to get more eyes on us, right? Whatever it is, the service that you're providing or whatever, you know. So those things come in steps, and you can do them in different. They don't have to come in. Well, they work better if they come in a certain order. You know, your house has to be working good first. Your internal, you know, your structure, your workers, your supply lines, your you know what I'm saying? Everything internally has to be working good first before everything outside of the business starts working good also, right? So there's things that you can look and ask, you know, as a business owner, as a CEO, as a whatever, you know, what goals do we want to reach this year? What levels do we want to double, triple, or rate our you know, our gross income coming in, you know, whatever. What is it that we want to do, right? But they have to be looked at, and they have to be kind of thought about, kind of like chess. You have to play with these ideas in your mind, moving pieces around until you see something that you know, that's going to be appropriate for what you need, right? As them. So in business, you know, there's a lot of things that you can look at, you know, online, YouTube, whatever. But there's also simple things just by asking questions, and also, like one of the main things that people want to do in the new year is health, right? I want to lose weight. I haven't, you know, whatever these goals. The new year is a good time to start goals about getting healthy, stop smoking, and losing weight, and all that. You know, that's that. So that helps a lot too. So back to, but like, where do we go to, right? There's plenty of health gurus on YouTube. There's plenty of places that you can go. There's, you know, every gym offers classes. They got Zumba. They got all kinds of stuff that you can do or get into to try to get healthy, right? Right. So first and foremost is laying out what is the goal, right? I want to lose, and it has to be, you know, specific. I want to lose weight. That's not specific enough. I want to lose 10 pounds. That's specific. You're stating it, right? Like the mission statement, right? We provide a service. No, the mission statement, right? What am I going to do? I want to lose 10 pounds. I want to lose 20 pounds. It's stated. It's the statement. It's my mission. What am I going to do? I'm going to lose 20 pounds. All right. Step one. Boom. That's what we're doing. Now, the next step, right, is like, what am I going to do? Which methods am I going to use to get there? Is it just going to be diet? Is it going to be diet and exercise, right? A combination of both, a little of one or the, weekends this, during the week that. There's so many, especially with health, there's so many places that you can go to, so many people you can ask, as there's so many avenues that you can look to help you lose weight, you know, as that to help you if you're gonna run, I want to run a marathon, I want to run half a marathon, same thing. There's training programs that people have followed, that'll get you there. My buddy just told me about his brother who is not a runner whatsoever, just ran the full marathon in Dallas, as the BMW marathon, and he wasn't a runner, but he followed a training plan. It was like a 6 month, 5 month training plan. He was not a runner, but he followed a specific plan that somebody developed, and he finished the marathon. He did the whole marathon, and he took he's not a fast runner, but he did it in about 5.5 hours, maybe 6 the most. Um, but he followed a plan that was laid out, by people who already tried it, who've already done it, who say, look, I promise, this is the plan that we've followed. This is the plan that others have followed, and it got them to their goal by following this plan. It works, right? Trust us, it works. Like in business, those things, there's gurus out there so that they didn't know how these business things work, and they're trying to tell you, look, this is certain things that you can do, right? That you can do that are like almost a guarantee that things are gonna work better. If you do these certain things, you want to lose weight. If you do these certain things, it's almost a guarantee that you are gonna lose weight. If you want to be able to run a marathon and you follow this plan, it's almost a guarantee that you are gonna be able to run that marathon. Because others have come before you, right? Others have come before us and did the hard work and shared it with us, right? So it's easy to learn a bunch of different methods to lose weight, counting carbs or just vegetarian or whatever. There's all kinds of different ways you can do it. High activity, right? High activity, low input, right? You eat less and you do more. You burn more calories, so your body starts burning. There's all these different methods that you can follow because they've been done and they've been tried, and people know that this certain thing works. So you also gotta be, trust. You gotta have to trust, be a little trustworthy. Trust the people out there who are telling you this, but you gotta have to educate yourself a little bit also, so you won't be scammed into something. Because just for our own precaution, we always wanna be able to look in a little bit more, dig in a little bit more, whatever it is we're doing, health, diets, whatever. We want to dig in a little bit more so we can understand it more. Understand what this diet does to my body. How does my body burn fat? How does fat, how do these processes work in the body? That'll help us get a better understanding of what might work for me. More cardio, from my experience, a lot of cardio helps you burn a lot of body mass, a lot of body fat, but also limiting the intake of what you're taking in, carbs, right? So like a plan that I would return to, let's say, because I need to lose some weight, would be low carb and then high cardio, lots of cardio, a lot of running, while not intaking so much, sugars and breads and all these other things, But so see, people have come before us and have done the work and share it with us so we can know, so it'll be easier for us, so we don't have to go through all of the different processes. Now, sometimes diets are hard. Our own willpower, what we can, there's different variables that come into play when it's, when we're trying to lose weight, right? Oh, I don't got time because of work. The kids, okay. There's a lot of stuff that's valid. They're not excuses, they're valid arguments. But that the variables can be moved around in that equation. You can move stuff around. Okay, wake up earlier, right? Wake up earlier, get on the treadmill for 30 minutes. Oh, damn. You don't want to work that hard, right? So see, there's things that we even with the health, we have to be honest on what we're capable of, what we can do, what we're gonna be able to do, and if we have to push ourselves too, because we can only hold ourselves to account. We have trainers, we have coaches and stuff that can, hey, you better blah blah blah. But if I don't do the work, nothing's gonna happen. So self accountability is a major aspect of like health wise or whatever. So because you have to do the work, and it is not easy. That's one of the most rewarding, I think, a goal. Let's say like weight loss or running or something, because you have to put in a lot of work. Like the work does not stop, but it pays off. When you see yourself leaner, when you can run that half marathon, when you can run those long distances, or you can do these weights or whatever, it pays off because it's like, wow, all of that hard work got me to where I was going, right? But it all started with, the mission. What was the mission? I'm going to, and here's another thing. We got to speak in the affirmative. I want to. Yeah, we all want to. We all want to be rich. I want to have money. I want to lose weight. I want to whatever, right? No, we need to speak in the affirmative. I will lose weight. I will have extra money. I will own I will. We have to speak in the affirmative, because we get too comfortable with speaking like I just, earlier, like, I want to when when we should be speaking more in the affirmative, in the positive, and helping us get, no, I'm going to. And then it's an attitude also that we have to keep in mind. Like that attitude has to stay there. The I am going to do this. But we don't, by sitting around, I'm not gonna get there, right? So those things that we have to, activate inside of ourselves, but we gotta hold ourselves to account, right? So new year, new you. You want to lose weight? Get out there, do it. Find your program, find your diet, find whatever it is you're gonna do, and get to work. It's okay. It takes time, and it's okay. Nothing comes easy. It's gonna take time, but get to work, right? All right. So another thing too is like relationships. You know, people that are single, or even like husbands and wives stuff, any kind of relationships. But we'll go from one and then to the other. So like people that are single, and then maybe are in the search, for a mate, are in the search for a future husband or wife or whatever. They're gonna be out in the world of dating and whatever, right? But back to principles, right? We got to go back to the beginning, right? Okay, so it's a new year. I'm gonna try something different, because this year I am going to meet that person. This year I'm gonna do things right. I'm gonna do things a certain way that's gonna get me, and meet Mr. Right, Mrs. Right. You know what I'm saying, right? So where do we start again, right? So what's the mission? Find a meaningful, healthy relationship, right? Okay, good. That's a good goal, in a relationship. And then of course you start by steps. You don't want to rush into things, right? So then we got to go back to the principles. First and foremost, do we know ourselves, right? Like, do we know ourselves? Do I know myself enough to put myself with somebody else, like to go out and be with somebody, right? Am I tamed enough? Do I tame my own, anger, my own whatever, enough to be presented with somebody, you know what I'm saying? Because look, if we know we can be jerks, if we know we can be, whatever, why put someone else through that, right? But sometimes we might be like, oh, but I need to be with somebody. I want to be with somebody. Okay, fine. How about, we work on ourselves first. I start on myself first, so I can be a better person to that woman, to that man. You know, you want to be a person, not just a presentation, the outside. Yeah, you do want to look good, of course, because attraction. You see somebody and, oh my God, they look good, they're beautiful. Look how they're dressed. They're fine, whatever, right? These things are the first thing, is we see each other, attraction, visual attraction. But then, someone could be real pretty, real beautiful, fine and sexy, muscular, whatever. But damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh damn, there's no there, Damn, this person's hot, she's hot, he's hot, whatever, but dang, there's no conversation, there's no, you know so depending on what you want, so it goes back to, again, what do you want out of, what are you looking for in a relationship, right? What do you want, like, what do you want in a relationship, right? What do you got to offer, right? What am I offering these women or this woman that I want to meet? What is my offer to her? Just some, you know, like abstractly, because I'm not talking about myself, but like we're talking abstractly. What am I gonna offer her? Just some good-looking guy with a nice car with money, but has no intellect, has no forethought, has no, reasoning, and doesn't, you know, so we have to know what it is that we're looking for. So, but if we're willing to put up with certain things, like okay, I want to be with, I desire to be with this beautiful woman, then okay, maybe I'll put up with certain things, right? But as long as we're being honest with ourselves and know what we want and know what it is that we're doing, then it's that. But it's that we have to know ourselves, because if we want the best person out there, right? Like you know, in a general sense, um, if we want the best person that's out there, I want to present the best person here too, right? Not just on the outside, how I look, whatever, what I know, whatever, I have money in the pocket, but conversation, ideas, questions, these things, like, to show someone that you're not just a pretty face, that you're not just a one subject person, that, oh, all I know is sports, or oh, all I know is cars, you know, whatever it may be, right? Across the board, there's all kinds of, so what do I have to offer? What am I gonna offer to this woman, right? Right. So I want to offer the best, the best that I can be, right? And if I'm honest with myself and I know, damn, I'm not ready yet because I'm not quite there yet. I'm not the best I can be yet. You know, maybe I'll hold off. Because the last thing I would want to do, right, is to get with somebody and then they feel locked in or whatever, and then they have to put it with my garbage or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Those are the kind of questions that we have to ask ourselves to know what is it that we want to do. What are we going to change in the new year? What am I going to change about myself? Or maybe I'm going to try to look for somebody, a different type. Maybe I've been going with the same type of person for a while now, and maybe I should try to, maybe I need to find a different type of person, right? Maybe I'm only focusing in on too much on how somebody looks. Maybe I'm only focusing in on too much on how the money. You know what I'm saying? So these are the questions that we have to ask ourselves, right? To say, okay, this is what I'm gonna do different this time, right? This is what I'm gonna learn from the past year of my dating, and how many, like failures in dating, whatever. Not huge failures, but like, bad dates or whatever, people that didn't work out. Whatever. I'm gonna learn from that. What did I do wrong? What went wrong? What presented wrong? Did they misrepresent themselves? Did I misrepresent myself? You know what I'm saying? So if we can get those parts of ourselves a little tightened up this year, how we, are we going to be honest with the people? Are we going to present ourselves in a certain way? Whatever. Those things are gonna help us, find out what, of course, what we want to do within if in a relationship, or if we want to be in one or not, or if we just want to have fun. Those things have to be upfront about it. If you just want to have good time and hang out and date and stuff, okay, let it be known up front, right? Don't waste women's time who might be looking for a husband. Don't waste men's time who might be looking for a wife. You know what I'm saying? So we need to be honest with ourselves on what we are looking for, what we are doing, what we are doing to improve ourselves, and what, the goal of what is it that we want out of a relationship. Are we looking for long term, short term? We just want to have fun. I don't even know yet. Okay? There's all these different levels, but being open and honest with ourselves, on what is it that we want, will help us, uh, um, kind of put this, maybe not in order, but we're gonna try certain things. At least we'll know what we're gonna try different. You know what I'm saying? So there's those things that we can do, you know, looking in relationships, in the relationship world. There's those things that we can do, to hopefully make our search for that partner, for that life partner, for your, the man of your dreams, the woman of your dreams, as to make that happen, you know. So there's these steps, there's these things that we can do to make that happen. Now, There's a lot of advice people out there, gurus, whatever. Este, but a lot of this stuff is pretty fundamental. Just asking yourself what what you want and breaking it down from there. Like the Socratic method, we just keep asking ourselves questions. And we answer honestly, and it's gonna break things down into more understandable pieces, right? That we go, okay, now I can focus. Okay, you know what? I do need to focus on my, how I react when the women I whatever, how I react when the men I date, whatever. You know what I'm saying? There's these pieces, but we have to break them down into pieces by asking questions, by making them smaller pieces that we can look at, right? And then comes the work, because it does just by knowing, oh, I figured it out, it's me who's, or it's the type of guy that I no. Okay, now the work comes in. No more dating that type of guy or girl, right? It's me, right? So now I have to fix that part about me. Maybe before I go out with the next person, let me try that out first, right? Invest some time in yourself, right? So a lot of times we go, people that are searching, they might date somebody and then go date somebody else because they're searching. You know what? Give yourself some time. Maybe take a break for a bit, right? Maybe take a break and know yourself a little bit more. Find out more about yourself, right? First, right? So you can be the best for the next person, for the next person you meet. So you can present the absolute best of yourself to them. Truthfully, not, you know, not a costume, not some facade. No, truthfully, this is who I am. But we need to know ourselves, right? So there's things that we can do in our relationship, in our seeking of relationship. Now, real quickly, of course, if you're married and you want to work on your relationship with your spouse, then same thing. It's internally. We have to know what we're doing wrong. Why is she getting angry at me? What am I doing wrong? I'm only hanging out with my friends at the games or whatever. Okay, well, that's probably one of the things. Same thing with the females, right? So we have to be honest with ourselves, uh, in a relationship, husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend. If we want to make that relationship better, we have to figure out what are we doing wrong first, because it's easy to point to him and say, this is what you do, this is what you do, and it may be true, and they may do that or whatever, but how about we go like this? What do I do? This is what I do. This is what I do, right? And lay it out, right? So I can work on that. So I can tighten those bolts up a little bit. So those arguments won't happen. So we can get ahead. So we can actually get things accomplished, right? Because we're always fighting because of whatever, right? So looking back inward, don't point outward, point inward. Family. Um, este, uh, family, the same thing. We just touched on that, but also, like, when it comes with the kids, there's a lot of planning that has to be done. There's things that have to be planned for kind of probably longer in advance. What do I want for my kids, right? And what are the steps that we're gonna have to take for my kids to get there? I want them to go to college. I want them to get good grades. I want them to learn these things, right? So as a parent, what am I gonna do for those things to happen? What steps am I gonna take to help my child achieve, those achievements? What kind of work am I gonna put in for their success? You know, so it comes back to working. There's a lot of work involved. There's a lot of work involved. There's never any just sitting back. Sitting back will come when you've done all the work. You know, in 10 or 15 years, 20 years, when the company is running good, when the investments are going good, there's gonna be a time to relax, but that time isn't now. You know, especially if you want to get ahead, if you want to take your business to the next level, if you want to take your creations to the next level. You have a podcast, you have a channel, you have these projects that you do. You're an artist, you create, you do these things, you want to take that stuff to the next level. Well, that takes work, and it's a constant, it's a never ending. You have to just keep working and working and working, modifying the ways you think, modifying the ways you do things, uh, tightening up where you can, cutting things out where you can, doing these things with a goal in mind that'll propel you forward. That's what I want over there. And this is what I'm going to do to get there. You know what I'm saying? But it takes a lot of work. There is no sitting down. There is no sitting back. Nothing falls in your lap. That is very, very rare. You know, so that's the attitude that we need to have, is that knowing that it's gonna take some work, so I'm ready for that work. You know, I'm prepared for that work. I'm gonna challenge myself to, to work even harder yet. You know, that's the attitude to that you have to keep. You know, that you have to keep all the time in the forefront of your mind, of your, what you're thinking, how you're acting. Is like success, success, success. You know, that sounds like like a, but that's the truth, though. That's the truth. You know, if I want this to make, if I want this to reach more people, if I want this to attract more eyes, if I want, there's just things that I'm gonna have to do. You know, but I'm sticking to a principle that I'm not gonna change. You know, because this show is about principles. You know, this isn't some, I don't know. There's channels that do whatever. This is not that. You know, this show is about principles, and I'm gonna stick to that. But on the business side, on the marketing side, on the creation side, I'm gonna do things out there, of course, to bring eyes. I'm gonna do events. I'm gonna do these things out there in my city to bring eyes towards us. I mean, my last episode is, just kind of blowing up for some reason. I'm not that. I mean, I I feel that they're good because I listen to them as a consumer, But wow, like, I'm kind of surprised, like wow, it's pretty awesome. But that's because the product has to be good. If you want success in business, your product has to be good. You know what I'm saying? Same thing like with creation. If you want success in the world of podcasts, in the world of webcasts, whatever you want to call it, all these things, it's that you know, it's that you gotta. It's hard, but you gotta work and you gotta modify where you can, and you gotta do things a certain way, to be successful. And what is it that you want? Viewers or this or that. It all comes back to the same, to the same thing. Now, so in there's so much literatures out there. There's so much that has been written over the years, over the centuries, and places that we can go to for wisdom and knowledge. And I mean, the mathematics has been since the Greeks and the Persians, and so there's so much information that's available for us to go to for help, to guide us in something, to guide me, in my philosophical, path that I'm on. I mean, there really is no guidance. You just got to take everything in as much as you can. But I started off with Socrates, and Plato. With the classics, with the things that still hold true, because they're based on principles that don't change over the thousands of years. These principles don't change, you know. So there's things that we can look to. There's things that we can go to. There's books, we call them religious books. The Bible, the Dhammapada, all these spiritual books, the Upanishads, all over the place. Many, 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 many books of spirituality, self-help. Many books of how to change your ways of thinking and behaviors, and all over the place, right? The work has been done to make it easier for you to there's guidance out there that you can find to lead you on your path. If you're kind of flailing around, floating about in the middle of the ocean with no path, with no sail, with no, what I'm saying, you're just kind of floating along. There's stuff out there that'll guide you in the right direction, that'll give you the necessary tools, ways of thinking in your mind that'll help you. What, maybe I need to steer the wheel. I need to steer this way now. Man, I've been going this way for so many years, and man, look, nothing's changed. Dang, maybe I need to turn the boat a little bit that way. I need to change direction. I need to change course, right? So there's things out there that'll help us get there. There's things out there um, through bits and pieces that'll help it. Because look, you can study the Bible, and there's stuff about relationships in there. There's stuff about being a boss. There's stuff about war. There's all kinds of information in there, but it's not like You can't just go to one place. That one book, the Bible, doesn't hold all the answers. It might give you some good ideas, some good answers, but then there's other books too, right? The Buddha scriptures, the Dhammapada, the Upanishads, these books that are read by billions of people. There's a billion Buddhists, there's a billion Muslims, there's a billion Hindus. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? They trust these words because there's some principle there that still holds true to today, right? We call this stuff religion, and it's kind of hard for the regular guy, for the regular Joe, the regular person who isn't too philosophical or anything like that. It's kind of hard for the regular mind to understand these things because they're like next level stuff. Some stuff is pretty easy, like the Christ goes around and says, man, don't cheat on your wife, don't steal, don't kill, right? These simple things, like, wow, those things are simple. But then there's other things that get a little bit more philosophical, man, like look inward. You know what I'm saying? The Buddha spends a lot of time about how we behave, what goes on in our mind. He says that the world is based on our thoughts, right? It's not an illusion, but our world is what I'm thinking. If I'm thinking negative things all the time or whatever, that's how my world around me is gonna be negative. Why? Because my thoughts are constantly on negative stuff. How people wrong me, or how they wronged others, or behave whatever, right? If the negative mind, the negative thoughts are there, then your day will go negative. But if you think good thoughts, clean thoughts, happy thoughts about good things, things around you will feel better. Why? Because your thoughts aren't concentrated on how bad the people are out there, or how evil this person is, or that person, or how bad those people are, or whatever, right? Because it's up to you on how you think, what's going on in your mind. That's where the discipline and the work comes in, because you have to tell yourself, you have to catch yourself thinking wrong. You have to catch yourself and say, whoa, hold on, what's going on there? Think something different. You know what I'm saying? So we think of spirituality in a lot of people say, well, this year I wanna get closer to God. This year I wanna read the Bible in 1 year. This year I wanna kind of give up those things in my life that that aren't good for me or whatever, right? That's a good time to start at the beginning of the year. Hey, new year, new you. Let's do it, right? So where do you go to? We're Westerners. So the place that we mostly go to is the Bible, and there's a lot of stuff there. There's certain things you can learn from there, on your behaviors and things like that. That'll help you change your ways to maybe make yourself a better worker, make yourself a better boss, make yourself a better husband, right? A better presenter, a better creator, a better whatever, right? There's certain things because it's about what's going on in here, right? How I'm presenting myself. How, if things are going bad because I'm presenting myself in it, it's all about what's going on in here, right? So there's books that we can go to. If I want to change my life this in the new year, if I want to do things different, then where do I go to? Yes, I can go to the Christ, but you know what? Don't be afraid to go to other books. That's one of the things that holds us back. You want to advance, you want to progress this year. Okay, don't hold yourself back. Find out what you do that says that you stop yourself from advancing, because we're responsible for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? The way things are, we hold the keys. You hold the keys to the future, that future that you see, that you desire. All of it lies in your hand. It's all right there. So we have to figure out, what am I doing wrong, right? What am I doing wrong? So we say we want to change. We want to be closer to God. We want to do things right. We want to do different. I want to give more. I want to be more loving. Okay, there's books out there. Don't hold yourself back. It's okay to see what the Buddha says. But again, like I've brought up before, is go to the source. They have teachers, there's pastors, there's monks, there's this teacher that could teach you about Christ, or that could teach you about the Buddha or whatever. Go to the source. The source itself will speak to you. The principle means the beginning, right? It's like go to the beginning, right? Go to Christ, to Jesus's words. Go to Socrates' words, Plato's words, Cicero, you know, Aristotle. Go to their words. You can go online and YouTube, and some guy will come out and explain what Cicero did, or explain what Socrates did, or explain what Jesus did. Those are his words. Go to the original source, and those words will speak to you. Those words will jump out at you and tell you words and it'll burn you in your soul, because that is why people still go to these sources. That is why people still go to the Buddha scriptures. That is why people still go to the Upanishads. That is why people still go to Socrates' writings and Plato's writings and Cicero. Why? Because there's a principle there. There's a rock there that doesn't change. That doesn't change over the generations, in language or nations or time periods. It doesn't change because it's a principle. It's a beginning. It's where thought starts. It's where action starts. It's where things begin. Right? I want to give more, right? A lot of us, we want to tithe, tithing. I want to tithe more. I want to give more. We'll give more. What's stopping you? Right? I want to be closer to God. Well, what's stopping you? You are stopping you. We are stopping ourselves. We are the ones that stop ourselves from, getting closer to God, or from reaching these spiritual levels that we want to reach, loving each other, all these different things. We stop ourselves. So when the new year comes along, when the calendar comes along, we start looking, we start asking, okay, what am I going to do different? I want to do something different, right? And we have a big old list. We got lists of all these things that we want to do, that we're going to do, right? We tell ourselves, nah, this is the year, right? This is the year that we're going to, blah, blah, blah. This is the year that we're going to, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? And that happens all the time. But it's okay, though, because we're imperfect. We're human. Nobody's perfect, right? So when we say, spirituality is kind of like, right, the goal is perfection, right? Where you don't curse, where you don't anger, where you don't nothing, right? Perfection, which is impossible because we're human. But that's the goal when we think of spirituality, right? When people say, I want to get closer to God, I want to be, I want to be more perfect, right? I want to act better. I want to be better. I want to do better. I want to speak better words because, I don't like the way I talk. I didn't like the way I answered my dad. I didn't like the way I answered my sister, my neighbor. I didn't like the way I interacted with that person on the road or at the store. You know what I'm saying? Honesty first. Look inward and say, damn, I don't like those things about me. So what am I going to do to change it? Right? Now, I can go and I can study. Look, the best part about where we are right now, in the time period that we are right now, is we have so much technology. You can listen on audiobook to anything, the Bible, Socrates, Plato. I mean, that's how I consume most of my information, is not through reading, it's through listening. Like Plato's Republic, right? Somebody could say like, oh, I've read Plato's Republic 3 times or 4 times. I've listened to Plato's Republic about 30 times. So I know Plato's Republic. The book of Matthew, the scriptures, the Bibles. I've listened to those books many, many times. The Gulag Archipelago. It's something around 80 hours worth on audio. Like I've done it at least 3 times in full. Like that's a hard task right there. So it takes the work to learn these things, to learn. And it's not even like you're learning anything specific. You're learning a voluminous amount of information, of philosophy, of religion, of history, of all these things and behaviors and all these things. And it's all put together, but your computer, your mind will sort through it out. And it will know what things worked, what didn't, because you're looking at the story of King David, or you're looking at the story of Edward or whoever, and why did he fail? Wham, because he was always chasing tail. And then one day they caught him with his pants down. whatever, right? There's these things in history that will show us the right and the wrong, like what things work, what things don't work, right? So it's up to us to figure those things out, which ones work, which ones don't, and then do the work uh, to you know find out what works or not, and then do it, apply it in our daily lives, in our business, in our home, in our family, in our spirituality, in how I drive, or how I act at work, how I behave with people at the store. And we have to implement those things that we learned, those tools. Socrates, Jesus, the Buddha, the Upanishad books. All of these they offer us tools on how to interact with each other, on how to behave with each other, right? But you have to utilize those tools. I can give you a screwdriver, I can give you a hammer, I can give you a drill, whatever. You have to use it. If you keep it in your pocket, it's never. You have to use the tools that are given to you. And many, many have come before us and have done the work for us to make it easier. To make it easier for you to achieve your New Year's resolution, to achieve your goal of losing weight, to achieve your goal of running the Dallas Marathon, to achieve your goal of being a better father, a better husband to your wife, a better boss to my workers, a better CEO to the company, a better neighbor. These things are out there that we can look to, that we can go to. They've been there. They've been there for thousands of years in some instances, and people return to them. Why? Because there's a more positive outcome when you follow these methods, when you follow these ways of reasoning, these ways of acting. You want to lose weight, follow this pattern. You want to run that marathon, follow this pattern. You want to be a better person, follow this pattern. Look inward, get rid of hate and anger, forgive. All these steps that we have to take, right, to make ourselves that better person for that woman that I want to date, that I want to marry, that man that you want to meet, or whatever. Fundamentals. There's a beginning. There's a beginning to it all, and one of the main places to begin is here, inside of ourselves, right? And so when things are going good in one department, right? Hey, my relationship with my wife is good. My relationship with my kids is good. Our home, our situation, it's good. Okay, things are going good. Good. Sometimes you might not need to take something to another level or to whatever, but you might have smaller goals that says, okay, things are good there. Now let's save some money. Now let's save for even stuff like a vacation or whatever, right? You lay out the plan. You put the goal out in front of you where you can see it, and then there's a path that you have to take to get there. How am I gonna get there? I want to be a better person. How am I gonna get there? I want to be more spiritual. How am I gonna get there? I want to take my business to the next level. How am I gonna get there? I want to take my show to the next level. How am I gonna get there? Well, not by selling out. Absolutely not. Because like what I've decided here is that we're gonna stick to the principles. We're gonna stick to the thesis. We're gonna stick to these ideas, and we're gonna dive deep, and we're gonna we're gonna have fun the way we do instead, but we're gonna stick to the plan, the thesis. We're gonna stick to that principles. Because that's when I started. That's what I want. The whole thing was about principles. It was about Socrates and religion and how we act and how we behave. And I'm a student of Jordan Peterson. I'm a student of Socrates. I'm a student of Aristotle. I'm a student of Jesus. I'm a student of the Buddha. It's that I want to bring. So that's what I want to bring here. People do things differently out there, whatever. We're gonna try to do things the way we do things here. We're gonna tweak things a little bit where we need to, but out there, we're gonna start doing more out there in the public. I already do a lot, I guess, but I want to do more even still. I want to do pop-up events. I want to do bigger events, with a booth and presentation, you know, where people can come and speak and whatever, and also start doing interviews again. Since you know we used to do the interviews on the audio side. You know, I'm already kind of planning our first video interview, which will, you know, I won't let too much out, but I'm still in the planning processes. But you know, hopefully things, will, you know, but we're gonna stick to that plan that we started with, you know. But we're gonna just kind of trying to take it to the next level, like in the marketing side, you know, more exposure. That's what I'm gonna do here. But nothing's gonna change. The rock is gonna stay the same. The fundamental principle of this show about what we're here to do, to help, you know, you know, educate ourselves and to educate, you know, those around us, and to help change ourselves and to help change our communities and our societies, because that's kind of what we want to do. That's kind of what this is all about, is because when we change ourselves, our communities change. You know, dang, my city, my leaders, my this, my that. Okay, let's start here first with us, and then all those things will change. And that's what the show has always been about. That's what the show will continue to be about here. You know, we're gonna stick to those principles, to that rock. You know, Socrates, Plato, Cicero, you know, the Jesus, the Buddha, all of these things. That's what we're gonna do here, because that is how we are gonna move ahead in life. That is how our communities are gonna change. That is how our families are gonna change. That is how our businesses are gonna explode. That is how all these things are gonna happen around us. But because we're gonna go back to principles, we're gonna return to these principles, to the beginning of ideals of what it is that we're doing. Why do we do this? What are we in business for? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing that? We're going to go back to the principles that have always been there, that have guided hundreds and thousands of people through the hundreds and thousands of years. Because some of this information is thousands of years old. So imagine how many people have looked towards it. How many people it's helped along the way. There's a lot of stuff out there that you can look to, that you can go to, that you can search and seek and read and listen to, and you know, apply into your life. Methods and ways of thinking and modes. There's things out there that you can do, you know, to help, you know, get to that goal, whatever that you know resolution was, whatever that resolution is, whatever that goal is for this year. There's things out there that'll help get you there. They've laid out plans in some instances. You just got to do a little bit of work. Not a little, a lot of work, but it's all there for you. It's all there for the taking. There's no excuses. New year, new you. All right. No excuses. There's no more excuses for our businesses not to succeed. There's no more excuses for your relationship not to succeed. There's no more excuses for you not to lose weight. There's no more excuses. Everything is there in front of you for you to use. The tools that have been laid out for you. There's no more excuses. That's it. New year, new you. All right, let's do the work. Let's get to it. All right. All right, folks. Woo. All right. Well, I want to thank you. I hope yeah. Well, I hope that helps out a little bit. I mean, you know, it's been a minute, so we took a minute to kind of get back on, but we are here, and we're gonna stick to the principles, and that's how, you know, that's what I count as success. You know, if I don't sell out, that's my success. You know, and I wanna, you know, just reach out to you and just, you know, ask that you be the best that you can be. You know what I'm saying? So you can present the best you to the world, right? All right, guys. Well, all right. Well, let me just do this now, because we're gonna run out of time. So I hope you enjoyed what you heard, folks. And if you did, please hit the like button on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button wherever you're listening to us. As to follow us on Facebook. Tell your friends, especially, because that helps the algorithm. When new listeners come in, you know, it starts pumping stuff out. When you hit the like buttons on our videos and subscribe buttons on YouTube, that also helps the algorithms. You have no idea how that helps. So please do that for us, because we want to reach more ears. We want to reach more souls and more people who are looking for answers. All right. So, all right, fellas. Well, guys and gals, in the meantime, I want to thank you, and I want to ask that you take care of yourself, that you stay safe out there. You know, tell your friends and do all that stuff too. But also work on yourself. If you've made resolutions for the year, work on them. Make a list, figure out what you need to do to get ahead, to stay ahead, and to succeed in whatever goal it is that you put before you. The work has been done in many instances. It's all been done for you. It's all laid out there for you. Okay? Just find the source. Find a good source of what you want to do. Find a good source of information of what you want to do. Get on a plan. Stick to it. Whatever it is you can do it. All right? New year, new you. You can do it. You will succeed. All right, folks? All right. Well, in the meantime, stay safe. Stay healthy. Take care of yourself. And I will see you guys soon. Peace out, folks.
This is Thesis.